Oh my goodness, I'm so excited! Who's excited? Hey!
One of our sponsors are once again doing the unexpected. Something that defies the norm. Smartsheet are removing their logos for the British Grand Prix and replacing them with a non-profit, Steamco, because they believe in empowering work that matters.
Hi, I'm Nick Corster, co-founder of Steamco. Steamco exists to help inspire our kids to aim higher than high, powered by creativity and community. At the heart of what we do are Steamco days, where the community comes in, working with the children to inspire them. Who would like to meet Professor Brian Cox? We have these little pop-up creativity day art trucks that contain everything you need to run a creativity day. We've got rocket making kits, we've got coding kits, we've got cardboard modeling kits. And there's something that everybody can do on a Steamco day. And at the end of the day, it takes a whole village to inspire a child. I believe our work's important because creativity is important. Creativity can inspire kids in their learning, it can connect communities, and it can power the economy. One of the key things we teach kids is not to fear failure, to be prepared to have a go, so that they thrive and not just survive in this brave new world that they're about to enter.
Right, now tighten up. Want a bit more? Yeah. You've got potential. You can see it.
Well, I travel all over the UK, from Land's End to John O'Groats, and Starship comes in handy, I must admit, because it's my office on 4 wheels. So when I rock up at a school playground in a car park, I love to say to the kids, what do you think of my Starship? Adults see an old camper van, but it's our Starship really, isn't it? I'm hoping that the future of Steamco is bright, and what I want to do is get 3 trucks on the road initially, and 3 crazy people like me, across England, Wales, Scotland and Northern Ireland. One day maybe the world, maybe the universe. When Smartsheet said they wanted to support Steamco in this way, I was just blown away. This was the opportunity we really needed to raise our profile, to raise awareness. But more to the point, I realised that somebody else shared the dream. They could see the method in my madness. It was that validation. Who wants to join me on a creativity revolution? I have to pinch myself that my life has come to a place where this is what I do. When this takes off, hopes, dreams take off with it. The difference that you make to those kids, to those communities, is profound. It really is. I'm living a life with purpose, and I'm grateful for that opportunity.
At McLaren F1, we're thrilled to be racing with Steamco on our cars in the UK. This is Sponsor X.
Yes, it is indeed Green Football Weekend. Yes, it is indeed Green Football Weekend, which is all about using the power of football to tackle climate change.
It is the inaugural Green Football Weekend.
All the clubs will be focusing on how they can help in the fight against climate change.
Today, we're all proudly supporting the Green Football Weekend.
80 football clubs around the country battling it out to be known as the greenest football club in the country.
Fans sign up for their clubs on greenfootballweekend.com.
A chance for fans and all of us really up and down the country to do our little bit to make the clubs that we love that bit more sustainable.
If your club's got no chance of winning any silverware,
They score goals by taking on planet protecting, climate-friendly activities.
put them at the top of the green table.
The top team at the end of Sunday wins the Green Football Cup. It's right here on set, and in fact, it was carved quite literally by Amy Turner's fair hand.
The Green Football Weekend has seen clubs and fans come together to help protect the planet.
And it's all for a very important cause.
To be fair, we do our bit for recycling. Of course we do, John. We've got the most famous recycling bins on television over there.
I get the food waste thing. Some things get chucked away, still good to be used.
Vegan football boots. What exactly goes into making a vegan boot? Well,
recycled materials, sustainable materials. It's a no-brainer why you shouldn't consider a sustainable football boot.
At the start of the season, I invested in an electric car. I wouldn't have been encouraged to do that if there wasn't some sort of infrastructure in place at the club.
It is Green Football Weekend, as you will have seen. And earlier today, Ed Balls and Alistair Campbell decided to join forces and arrive at Carrow Road in an interesting mode of transport.
I talked to the organisers of Green Football Weekend. They say that Burnley and Norwich are right up there in terms of pushing this.
Down the front.
How can a fan on match day help to save the environment?
Use public transport to get to the game, share rides with friends when you're at the game, reduce the meat that you consume.
That's what we're really trying to do, is make sure that we are looking after what we can control, and if we can use the power of sport to spread that messaging to a wider audience, then absolutely we should be doing that as well.
It's sort of nice to see that all the clubs are getting involved and essentially like competing with each other to try and outdo each other and make a big impact on have climate action.
The players and managers wearing green armbands to mark the Green Football Weekend.
Putting loads of t-shirts on. I think that's called the Layer Up Challenge. What's that all about?
Yeah, we've had loads of footballers give it a go, and some of the pundits as well. So the idea with Layer Up is just have a bit of fun, because this climate topic, people can be a bit switched off by it, and we need to bring a bit of joy and excitement in. So with Layer Up, put on as many t-shirts as you can in 30 seconds.
We saw it with the frozen pitches last weekend, but we've seen it previously how it can affect the WSL.
We're in our green football made from recycled cardboard, powered by renewable energy. We're on our way
to Forest Green Rovers, the greenest football club in the world. It's time to kick off.
Hello, thank you so much for joining us today at Forest Green Rovers, the greenest football club in the world. We're here in Ellsworth, Gloucestershire. I'm Paul, a teacher from the Ministry of Eco-Education, and we support schools all over the country to teach sustainability. I'm here with Chris.
I'm Chris. I'm the head of community here at Forest Green Rovers Community Trust, and we educate, inspire and motivate people through the education of our football club.
Thank you so much to the thousands of children joining us today from across the country. We've got people zooming in from Wales, London, the South Coast, Cornwall, Northumberland, Yorkshire, Manchester, Blackburn, and many, many places in between. Now, you might be wondering how we got here today. We've got this special cardboard green football that is helping power us to get us around the stadium and move us between spaces. We're going to explore the stadium, meet some of the interesting characters, and find out more about sustainability happening here at Forest Green Rovers. We're going to get you thinking about how you can be more sustainable at your school, in your lives, and in your communities.
We've got a very special guest with us here today for our live lesson. I'm just going to call him over and introduce you to him all. So this is Neville. So Neville is our Green Devil mascot here at Forest Green Rovers, and he's very, very special to us.
And we're going to play a special game today. So throughout this lesson, Neville's going to appear in some of the shots. And what we want to do is for you to count and make a note of how many times you see him. We're here with Richard from the Green Football Weekend. So, Richard, what's it all about?
Green Football Weekend unleashes the power of football to tackle climate change. It brings together players, fans, football clubs, leagues, broadcasters, and everyone can do their part. So we're focusing on food this weekend. We're encouraging people to try a veggie option. So you can head to the Green Football Weekend website, download the veggie recipe book, which has got over 70 recipes from footballers, managers, famous chefs, pundits, all kinds of people. And you can score goals for your football club by having to go and get involved as well.
Well, great. And was there a launch, wasn't there, at Wembley? What happened?
That's right. So we took down the trophy from last year's campaign, which was won last year by Manchester United. We took that by train with the Manchester United mascot to Wembley, and we launched with a collection of ex-footballers, pundits, chefs, some school children, lots of media there to really kick off this competition and get things started.
There was Levi Roots, maybe people might know his sauce. Who else there was?
So we had Levi Roots there, famous for creating reggae sauce, of course. He was appeared on Dragon's Den in the past. We had Joe Cole and Robbie Savage, ex-professional footballers. We had Dale Vince there, of course. And between them, they were doing a cook-off. So they were taking part and cooking with some school children and cooking I think there was a vegan patty and a vegan burger for some taste tests.
So there's also some school resources, isn't there? So everyone across the country can be doing more of this. What sorts of things could they do?
That's right. So there's a whole host of school resources for classrooms to get involved with, to learn more about Green Football Weekend, to learn more about climate change and what you can do to kind of do your bit and help the planet. But beyond that, once you've learned a little bit more and you've taken part, you can continue that at home. So you can go home, you can get involved at greenfootballweekend.com, you can make pledges and take actions and score goals for the football team that you follow to help them climb the Green Football Cup League.
So we're challenging everyone who's watching this, everyone at home as well, to score some green goals. And they need to go on the website.
Yeah, greenfootballweekend.com. Make your pledges, take some action, score as many goals as you can.
Thanks so much, Richard.
Thank you.
Hello. So thank you so much for joining us. It's incredible that we've got so many children across the country joining us. And even we've got Samuel and his students from the Climate Action Network over in Uganda who are joining us as well. So we just wanted to gauge how everyone is experiencing this. If anyone needs to, it might make sense to jump onto YouTube and to go to the Ministry of Eco-Education YouTube. And I think we might drop the link in the chat as well to help you. If you can't get the video screen to be the full size. Oh, great. We can see lots of people, lots of classrooms. Hello, Eleanor. Hello, Paul. We've got more than 50 schools joining us from, as we were saying, oh, excellent. We've even got, I know, some trainee teachers who are joining us as well. So we've also got Nick on the call as well, and Nick is managing all of the wonderful behind the scenes. You might hear his voice occasionally.
Sounds a bit like this.
As he drops in.
Amazing. We've got some amazing fun activities to take part in the whole of this lesson. And we even go on an exciting journey across Forest Green Rovers Football Club in the next 15 minutes or so. So we're really happy that you guys are here to join us on this journey and learn more about us and the Green Football Weekend.
So to help you, we've made this booklet, and it doesn't matter if you haven't got a copy with you. Some of you might have printed this, some of it might be on a board, but we're going to help you through and use this workbook to kind of guide what we do. And it might be that you've already got some of the answers to this.
So we are currently in Nailsworth, Gloucestershire, as you saw from our video to start with. So what we want to know now is, where are you guys from in the country? We know we've got a lot of different people on the call. Paul just pointed out that we've got a school from Uganda. So if you can add an arrow to the map, as you can see here, about where your school is, and then try adding some numbers as well. So you'll see that we've got a certain amount of players and a certain amount of staff. So can you do the same with how many children are at your school and how many staff are there as well?
How accurate are those numbers, Chris, for the club?
How accurate are those numbers? Well, it is January, so it is ever moving when it comes to number of players. So you never quite know. And the fans is a really good one. That is our capacity of our stadium at this moment in time.
Awesome. Okay, so we also heard them from Richard from the Green Football Weekend, and he was saying that the Green Football Weekend mobilizes everyone to take action on climate. And this year, the focus is particularly on the power of our diet. So it might be that you choose to have the occasional meat-free meal or eat plant-based. So we can all score green goals for our favourite club, and that might well be Forest Green Rovers. And of course, Chris, we know that green football isn't just for the weekend at Forest Green Rovers. It is every day. So let's go and explore some more.
So, Chris, we've come out the front here. There's some solar panels. Where is it that the club gets its energy?
So we try and create 20% of our own energy on site, or just up the road a little bit. So as you can see, we've got our solar panel behind us, but over in the south stand, it's not just famous for the amazing atmosphere. It is full of solar panels, and all the other 80% energy that we get is all from renewable sources. So we try and make sure that it's always from that green option.
Yeah, and what is it that's up the road then?
So just at the road is a wind turbine. It's actually the first one that our owner Dale built in the early 90s, and we still use it to power at the stadium here, which is absolutely amazing.
And so all this energy, the 80% that comes from Ecotricity, or the stuff, the 20% on site from solar and from wind, is all from renewable energy. And what exactly is that?
So the renewable energy is using the resources of the planet, right, to use that energy, the solar panels, the wind turbines, and making sure that we're not using those fossil fuels that are then, going into the atmosphere and making the planet even hotter than it should be.
Great. So should we get on to the next place?
Let's go.
Wow.
Amazing. So did you guys write that down? Did you hear what we said? So here at the football club, we use 20% of our own energy that we create on site or just up the road with our windmill that our amazing owner, Dale Vince, made a long time ago. And the rest of it is all from renewable sources. So 20% on site, 80% off site from Ecotricity. We're also a proud sponsor of the Green Football Weekend.
So thinking about your school, does your school have solar panels on it? If you're sat in a house or another building, does it have solar panels on it? You could try shouting out your answer. Yes, no. Where does the energy come from for your school? Is any of it on the buildings, or does it come from somewhere else? What about the lights in your classroom? How many lights are on in your classroom right now? Have a look round. How many different lights? And do you know who turns off the lights at the end of the day? Who turns them off? Is there someone special that comes around and makes sure all the lights are off? Is it the teacher? Is it the last pupil? Who is it? Maybe that's something you could ask. You could find out who it is. You could also ask, if you've not got solar panels, could you get some?
So we've got Tom here from the Ministry of Eco Education, who's going to talk to us a little bit about nature. As a football club, it's quite different around here, right? You can, you've seen that there's grass banks around. It's not similar to other football clubs. Why is it so important, Tom? Why is that nature so important?
First of all, respect to you guys for having a wild area right next to your pitch. I really admire that. And we know that a strip this wide is a really useful habitat. So actually, if you give nature space and let it do its own thing, it will introduce an incredible range of species, which we call biodiversity. Not many football clubs talk about biodiversity on site. It's really quite special. So this time of year, you might think there's not a lot going on. But if I show you some small things in here, this is a bramble leaf. There's 400 types of brambles if you end up counting what's in your school grounds. And you can see there's holes in it. So we know the caterpillars that have been recently eating that. And the caterpillars might overwinter as chrysalis or as a caterpillar. So hiding amongst here, there will be thousands of mini caterpillars. Here's some hazel you can see. Here's some nice catkins, and there's male and female. And here's some little beetles that will be hibernating. These are actually stag beetles. They're quite rare now. So I brought you those as a special specimen. But I found all sorts of other things. So if you were going to try and count how many different things you've got, which is how much biodiversity you've got in your area, then you'll realize that this football club has got so many different wild species that belong here, right down to lichen on twigs. That's really important. And that shows how clean the air is around here. Bright colored lichen and lots of it really helps to show that. So congratulations to you guys for managing to keep high biodiversity meters away from your pitch.
Thank you very much. And this is all obviously part of the Green Football Weekend, right? And that's all about getting people to make pledges about what they can do at home. So what can people do? They're watching this lesson. What can they do afterwards when they get home to try and help the biodiversity in their area?
Very nice. At home and at work, a green space that's ideally 3 meters wide, at least in a strip, is a very useful habitat, and nature will take its course in there. You'll find that over the first few years, things like all these hawthorn shrubs and hazel shrubs will pop up. But it's been proven that if you let nature take its course, it will go through succession, and you can just watch and enjoy it. The more rough ground you have, the better. And so if I bring my kestrel in, I'll show you the kind of thing you'll get if you have enough rough ground for small voles, small birds to live in that area.
Tom, we get a lot of unique visitors at the new lawn, being who we are, but this is the first time I'm stood next to interviewing a bird. So could you introduce us to your kestrel to start with, and then tell us how important they are?
Nice. This is Sandy. So his parents were injured in car accidents, and he's a rescue chick, and he lives wild around my home. And he was raised by a 12-year-old, a mad football fan, and now he lives free. But he's come with us today so that we could just remind ourselves of the importance of bringing nature into these conversations. He's important because he's a top predator, like this stuffed hedgehog. It's not a real hedgehog. These guys are top predators. If you've got these in your grounds, then you know, like a shark on a reef, that you've got plenty of food around. They're like keystone species. They really help. If you have big buzzards, you know things are going well, another top predator. If you have things like peacocks, then you know that actually what you've got is not necessarily native wildlife. And that's what's really good about Forest Green Rovers leaving this wild strip for native wildlife. You don't really want exotics because the balance is so carefully, finely tuned. The balance has taken 10, 20,000 years of stable climate to come to this ultimate collection of biodiversity. And we don't want to disturb that.
Amazing. Thanks, Tom. I think we'll let Sammy have a little break from media duties, right?
Amazing stuff. I think that was quite a unique experience. I think you could agree, Paul, having Tom and his kestrel with us to talk all about nature. And we're very different at Forest Green Rovers when it comes to nature, as you could see. And what would be great to know is how many people have been to other football stadiums across the world. I don't know if we can get the Zooms back on, Nick, to see if we can get some hands up about who's been to different football stadiums. Awesome. There's lots of hands going up there. Paul, yourself? Not seeing a hand up from you, mate. Amazing. So we've got loads of football stadiums. So when you go to a football stadium, it might be, you might have gone to Manchester United, you might have gone to Tottenham Hotspur, you might have gone to Liverpool, and in that area it's very built up, right? Oh, we've got some see some very excited hands when I've mentioned a few of those teams there. Oh, there we go. And you might have, when you've gone there, you might have been surrounded by houses, different buildings, which is very difficult to have that nature aspect. But as you can see here at Forest Green Rovers, from amazing demonstration from Tom, we do things a little bit differently, and we try and make sure that we have nature all around the stadium to encourage it as much as possible. Loving these dances. They are amazing. Look at them go.
It's cool. So we're going to jump into the next video now with Nick, the grounds person at FGR.
Nick, welcome to our live lesson for the Green Football Weekend. You're head groundsman here at Forest Green Rovers at the New Lawn, right? We've got a couple of questions to ask you about what makes us so special when it comes to it. So the first thing is the pitch, right?
Yeah.
Completely organic pitch. What does that mean?
So that basically means that we only use organic products on the pitch, from fertilizers to that in terms of what we put on the pitch, and also what we don't use on the pitch, which is chemical like pesticides, fungicides. We don't use weed killers on the pitch. So things like that, basically, natural products that we can get our hands on, basically.
I remember walking around about maybe June time and it smelled like the seaside. Is there something special that goes on the pitch around that time?
Yeah, so we basically throughout the year we use plenty of seaweed, so quite often it is that a lot of our products kind of have that smell about them anyway because they are natural products. Most of them, if they're not just seaweed, they've got seaweed in them. A lot of things that contain molasses, which is taken from sugar cane. So it's generally things like that smell quite natural anyway. So that'll be what you're smelling.
Amazing. And in terms of watering the pitch, how do we water the pitch?
So we've got a series of pop-up sprinklers in the pitch and around the pitch. That is all taken from we've got a big water tank in the corner over there. And everything any water that goes on the pitch, be that rainwater or from irrigation, we've got a closed loop. So it actually drains back through the drainage in the pitch and is then pumped back into the irrigation tank, ready to be put on the pitch again. We also have got an initiative here, which you know about, called Peter Pitch, which is the away fans' toilets. That water is treated and cleaned, and again fed back to our irrigation tank to go on the pitch. And it's all clean water. I've sort of been told that you could drink it, however, I wouldn't recommend it. But yeah, so we reuse as much water as we can here.
The one question I always get asked when I talk about the Peter Pitch: does it smell?
No, I don't. I haven't smelled anything untoward, but again, I wouldn't recommend you drink it or stand in front of the sprinklers when they're going off, just in case.
I'll keep that one in mind. And in terms of the pitch, you've obviously got to keep it looking as amazing as it is. How do you mow it? What do you use?
So we've got 2 types of mowers here that we use generally. So our day-to-day ones for cutting grass, they're cylinder mowers and they're electric. They're called Infinicuts, and they're fully electric machines. So that is what we cut the grass with. We've also got rotary mowers, which I'm sure everybody's seen and wondered why they do it after a game of football. You'll see the groundsman on running the mowers over the pitch, and what they do is they do cut some grass, but essentially they are sucking up all the debris that is left behind on the pitch after the game, so you can get the pitch nice and clean for the next game. And they're fully electric as well. They're both from Infinicut and fully electric.
Amazing. So that goes back to us using our own renewable energy, right?
Yeah.
20% of it here, 80% off site, and it's all about going back into and using it on site.
And we've got solar panels on the roof and that, as you well know. So it's all coming from our own power source that we've generated, like you say, here and off site.
Amazing. And just very lastly, this is all for the Green Football Weekend, right? So we want as many people out there signing up, scoring as many goals for Forest Green Rovers, top that league. Is there any pledges that you suggest that people can make at home?
Well, something quite easy that everyone can do, which we did here as a site. Obviously, we don't just look after the pitch here, we look after the surrounding areas as well. But at the end of the season last year, we observed something called No Mow May, which is it is what it sounds like. Essentially, we left all those areas to grow and be wild, because it helps all the animals that haven't come out of their like little burrows and cocoons yet and things like that. So I think that's a good place to start, is to perhaps leave that first cut of your lawn at home until sort of June time, to give those creatures a chance to do what they need to do. And that's a fairly easy one that everyone can do, I think.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Nick.
No problem.
Cheers.
Amazing. I must admit, I can listen to Nick talk about the pitch and the grass all day, and he just spoke a little bit more about the nature that we spoke with before, which is amazing. So just a real quick question to everyone in the audience: do you have an organic pitch at school? Have a little think. What do you put on that pitch, or what what the people that look after it put on that pitch, or maybe at home? Is there anything that you could do differently there?
Yeah, and could you imagine using your Wii to fertilize the school grounds? I think that might be a good question for your head teacher. So now then, it's your turn. You've got a couple of minutes to have a go drawing a quick map of your school site. And what we want you to do is add in places you think you could have more animals, more plants, more trees. Maybe you could even dig a pond. So spend a couple of minutes in that box drawing your school, or you could just have a think. Could you point to a place where you think we could do more there?
I have noticed as well, Paul. There's a special person in the audience. Tom is at one of the schools, right? Helping out. Has he got his kestrel with him? Do we know?
Yeah, I spotted Tom in one of the our in-house ecologists. I think he's just about there. I can see him in the top left there. Is he in
St. Ursula's? There he is.
St. Ursula's. He's managed to use his green football to teleport to a school from the club. Excellent. Well, shall we jump in then now? We're going to think a bit more about the clothes we wear and our uniforms.
We're going to now go see Mike at the club shop.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mike running the shop.
Mike, welcome to our live lesson for the Green Football Weekend. You are our head of retail here.
I am.
At Forest Green Rovers, right? Amazing. So tell us something, what makes us so special? What part of retail make us stand out to other clubs?
Well, what we try and do is anything we actually bring into the shop, we try and make sure it's friendly for the environment, recyclable materials, and we try and be a bit innovative with regards to how we actually use that in the products. So, for example, the home and the away shirt this year, it's made from something called Ecovera lensing. So it's 88% recycled polyester and 12% Ecovera lensing. Now, Ecovera lensing comes from wood, which is good because it's a natural product. And it's sourced from responsible forestry. So it's a really good material for us to actually have with our shirts. And also with the production of these shirts, we use 50% less water and we emit 50% less CO2. So it's a good thing to have.
Amazing. So natural on the pitch, for the actual pitch, and natural the shirt that they're wearing as well, which is incredible. So what about other products that we have in here? We've obviously got the amazing home shirt, but what else do we do?
So we've got new hats and scarves in this season, and they're all made from 100% recycled polyester. Our hoodies, polo shirts and t-shirts, they're all made from 100% recycled organic cotton. And even down to our accessories, we've got bamboo products, soft enamel, again, wood. So again, we just try and make sure that when we're actually working with suppliers, we try and make sure that we are as environmentally friendly as we possibly can.
And what about compared to other clubs, right? Are we doing stuff differently? Is that the stuff that we've got?
I personally think from an environmental point of view, we are leading the way.
Yeah.
And we've seen that there are so many other clubs now that are looking to move further into this. So it can only be a good thing.
Amazing. And obviously, we're talking to you today about the Green Football Weekend, right? So we were trying to score as many green goals as possible for Forest Green Rovers, get to the top of that league. Is there any pledges that you could suggest to the children watching this about what they could do?
Yeah, do you know what? When they go out to their club, whether it be Forest Green or whatever club they're supporting, just be mindful about the products you're actually looking at. Go to the inside of the top and look at the how it's made, and just try and be a little bit more sort of environmentally friendly towards what you're buying.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Mike.
You're welcome.
Wow. So I really didn't know that about the kit.
I know it's amazing, right? And we always try and make sure that we're doing stuff differently. That includes the kit. And I must say, I might be a little bit biased here, but I think it's definitely one of the best looking kits in the league as well. So that always helps. Now you've heard about what we do at Forest Green Rovers. Now it's your turn. I want you to work with a partner and explore, the uniform that you're wearing at the moment for your school. So can you have a look at the label on your clothes? What material is it made from? Where was it made? And then look at the activity behind, and then you can actually fill this out. So give it a go. Did you find your label there, Paul? You look like you're struggling a little bit with it.
Mine's made from cotton, organic cotton. So, yeah.
Organic cotton, amazing. Yeah, guys, have a little look. I wonder, again, Nick, could we have a little zoom in on a few of the schools as they're taking part in this activity?
I know that a lot of school blazers are made from recycled polyester. So blazers are often made from bottles. But I wonder which countries people's clothes come from. I wonder if anyone can find their label. I know we often think about China as being the manufacturing hub of the world. So it might be they're from China. It might be they're made in Vietnam, or it might be somewhere like Portugal or Turkey. Hello, everyone. Great.
Amazing stuff.
I think we've got another guest, haven't we? We've got someone special coming and joining us. So, Nick, I think we should jump back into that changing room and see who we find.
Guess where we are now? We're in the Forest Green Rovers changing room. You can see all the kits and everything hung up ready for a match. But there's someone else in here as well. We've bumped into Kate Strong. Now, Kate, you're on a bike. What are you doing for the Green Football Weekend?
Well, actually, I'm cycling from the Forest Green Rovers Stadium all the way to Colchester Stadium on my bamboo bike.
So how long? How far?
It's about 150 miles. I'm going to take a couple of days. I'm stopping halfway and staying at a friend's house. And it's all to raise awareness and get people active for the Green Football Weekends.
Excellent. So have you done a cycle like this before?
It's not my first ride. So last year on the same bike, I cycled 3,500 miles around mainland Britain. So I started in London, went up the east coast of England, all the way around Scotland, down through the Lake District, Wales, Cornwall, and back to London.
And during that cycle, it had a special name, didn't it? It was called the Climate Cycle. And what was it you did whilst you went on that cycle?
So I visited quite a few schools and they showed me their climate initiatives and projects, but I also visited 50 other projects as well. So we did grassroots initiatives, planting seaweed, going surfing on wooden bodyboards, but then also visiting universities as well to talk about how we can improve reduction of plastic pollution in our waterways as examples.
And there's a really good website. So all of the children joining us today can go after this and maybe go and explore and have a look at some of those projects. So what is it you like about long distance cycles?
I love anything that gets me active, anything that gets me outside in nature, feeling the wind on my skin, being able to look at the trees and really connect to it at a deeper level. But I love long distance rides because I have to make friends. I can't do it alone. It might just be me on my bike, but I need to stop and ask for directions. I need to stop and ask for people to house me and feed me as well. So it's a great way to make friends as well.
So over this great big, the Green Football Weekend, what is it that children can do to get involved?
Well, get active, get outside, play football, go for a walk, even jump on your bike. And if you log that activity on Climate Games, an app, and join the Green Football Weekend event, I'll plant a tree as well. So you know that your activity is also helping that.
Great. Well, thank you so much. We can't wait to see you on your ride.
Thank you. See you.
Wow. So would you ever go for a bike ride as far as Kate? What was that? Was it something like 30,000 miles? That's a long way. So what we want you to do is think about what Kate was feeling maybe before she went on the adventure. What kinds of things might she be feeling? Do you think she might be a little bit nervous, a bit worried before she gets started? Is there a lot to think about? Planning a trip, making sure you've got all the kits, knowing where to go. But what about when she gets cycling? How do you think she feels during the bike ride? When you've got the wind in your face, and she's just cycling off. Do you think maybe that's exciting? Seeing lots of things, meeting lots of people. So maybe her emotions and the way she feels changes during the cycle. Okay, we're going to jump now. And we're going to meet a very special person called Marcus. And he's the CEO of the football club. And that is a bit like your head teacher at your school. So he's the person at the very top of the organization. And we've got a special game. Whilst Marcus talks, we're going to play a big game of bingo. And it might be that you've got a grid in front of you. You might have the words, or it might be that you can just listen and see if you spot some really important words. So see if you can get them all. And we're going to go and meet Marcus.
Marcus, welcome to our live lesson for the Green Football Weekend. You've got quite a special job here. Do you mind just telling everyone what that is?
Yeah, I'm lucky enough to be the CEO here at Forest Green Rovers.
Amazing. And Forest Green Rovers, everyone's learned how special we are and who we are. What does that mean to you? What do we stand for?
Yeah, look, we are the greenest football club in the world. We're recognised by both the United Nations and FIFA as the greenest football club in the world. That's our point of difference. That's what makes us special, both in terms of what we do on the field, but also what we do off the field.
Amazing. And it's your job to look at our values and everything that we stand for. Could you tell us a little bit about what the values are and what they mean to us and the club?
We've got 3 underlying values here at Forest Green Rovers. The first one is sustainability, the second one's innovation, and the third one is performance. And when that translates into behavior, both on and off the field, we talk about putting the planet before profit. We talk about setting the tone and how we present ourselves and how we work with others. And then we also have the behavior of working as one team, one club.
And what about the people watching? We've got kids watching this, and they what can they be doing to support our planet and supporting those values?
Yeah, look, there's so many different things that everyone can do. They can do it at home, they can do it at school. Everything from recycling through to growing your own veg, through to trying vegan meals, through to using public transport. There's a really extensive list of things that anyone can do. And they can get their friends, they can get their family, they can get their schoolmates all involved in that, because every little bit helps.
Amazing. The Green Football Weekend, it's obviously spread across the 2nd of February to the 5th of February, but we do that every weekend, right? So every weekend is a Green Football Weekend for Forest Green Rovers. How, name a few things that we do to make sure that that's always the case.
Oh, wow. There are literally hundreds of things that we do here at Forest Green Rovers, but just to name a few, look, we are a vegan football club. So obviously there's no meat on the menu here. We have an organic pitch, so there's no chemicals being used on the pitch. Look, our football nets are made out of recycled fishing nets. We've got solar panels here. We've got EV charging points. There are literally hundreds of things I could rattle off.
Amazing. And obviously we do a lot, but a whole part of this is pledging about something else that we could do. What's the place that you might be taking over the Green Football Weekend, just to put you on the spot?
Wow, just put me on the spot. Look, for me, I think it's more about using public transport. I do have an electric vehicle, but I also want to start using public transport more, and that's been my primary pledge.
Amazing. Marcus, thank you very much for speaking to our audience, and hopefully we can score enough goals to win the weekend, right? Beat the Premier League teams.
Yeah. Get behind Forest Green Rovers, get to the top of that league table, because if we can beat Man United off the field, that's amazing.
Amazing. Thanks, Marcus.
Amazing. It's always great to see that everything that we do is, from the top of the club all the way through it. So great to hear that stuff from Marcus. So obviously we had the bingo game. Did we get anyone that got all of the squares? Nick, again, if we could have a little zoom in on any of those schools. Did we get any of them? Did we get all of them? Oh, we've got someone pointing down there that we've got them all. Yeah, we're having the wave in the sheet, so I can only imagine that means that everyone's absolutely smashed it. Amazing stuff. Well done. So now have a little think about what your school values are. Okay, try writing them down or speak to the person next to you. And are they about sustainability? Obviously, at Forest Green Rovers, all of our values stem from that sustainability. And could you even write a green value for your school? So have a little talk to your friends and maybe write a couple of down, your values or any values that you'd like to see at your school.
Yeah, I know lots of schools have got things like kindness and being caring. But do they talk explicitly? Do they say we need to care for the planet as well as other people? You know, what kind of language is being used?
I think that one's actually really important as well, Paul, because a big thing that Marcus always says, he didn't say it there, is we are planet over profit in everything that we do. So that caring of the planet would be absolutely amazing. And one of the things you might have heard Marcus mention was about our vegan food, all the vegan food that we sell on match day. So I think that might be a perfect spot to meet our next person, right? Right, Paul?
Yeah.
Cool. Let's meet Rich, who is our head chef at Forest Green Rovers. Rich, welcome to our live lesson for the Green Football Weekend. You're the head chef here at Forest Green Rovers, right?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Amazing. So we've told everyone that we are the only vegan football club in the world.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? What does vegan mean?
Well, vegan means plant-based diet. Yeah, no animal fats, no animal products, etc., etc. And that's what we pledge here at Forest Green Rovers.
Amazing. And what do you like about cooking vegan food?
Well, vegan food, after my background of being in hospitality and industry, it's a new challenge. You know, everything that I've been taught and trained over the years was slightly adapting those recipes to go for a plant-based ingredients, recipes, and changing things, trying things out, doing new, taking on new challenges. And this is what we stand for here. We're trying things all the time.
And is it difficult to change that, like adapt those recipes, or do you find it quite easy?
Most things are quite easy, but we have these little challenges every now and again, little hurdles we have to try and get over.
Amazing. And you're up here on a match day cooking for the hundreds of guests that we have in hospitality, right? What's your favourite dish to cook?
Oh, it's got to be the mushroom stroganoff. Yeah, mushroom, cream sauce, a few gherkins in there, a little bit of smoked paprika, full of flavour.
Amazing. And why are we vegan? Why do the players eat vegan? Why are we encouraging it as a football club?
Well, vegan food is really healthy, and it's proved that it's good for the planet, it's good for the environment, it's good for our bodies. Too much animal-based products are not good for us.
And this is all part of the Green Football Weekend, right? So the children that we've got watching right now, we want them to score goals, make pledges for Forest Green Rovers, get us top of that league.
Yes.
Is there any suggestions that you can make for a pledge to make?
Well, just try some of the simplest vegan recipes we have online. Yeah, just try one. Get your parents or yourselves to just have a go. It's simple, it's easy. Just try something new.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Rich.
Thank you very much.
I wonder if your kitchen at school looks like that. So we've got a ready, steady cook activity for you. We're going to come up in a second with some, there we are, some ingredients. And we've got a tomato, we've got some basil, an onion, a pepper, some corn mince, so plant-based kind of protein there, and some spaghetti. Is it some spaghetti? Yeah, pasta. So what we want you to do is talk to the person next to you and come up with a meal that you would make with those ingredients. Whilst you're doing it, I'm just going to talk a little bit more about the this over here. We've got chips are vegan. Chris, what's that about?
Yes, it's chips are vegan. It's very simple. When it comes to people trying new food, people think they've never tried vegan food before. You always ask that question. But of course, chips are vegan. We do have a lovely shirt that Mike sells in our shop that says chips are vegan. So yeah, it's just important to let people know that actually they may have tried something vegan without them knowing it.
Yeah, I've seen Dale wearing that shirt. He's been on lots of television programs with a shirt that says along the front of it, chips are vegan. Great.
And again, I might be biased, but the chips here at the stadium are some of the best chips I've had around. So
yeah, so hopefully people have come up with some really interesting recipes. What's your guess, Chris? What would you cook with these things?
See, I'm quite lucky because I've seen Rich make something out of these. Sorry, this school is loving it. That's what we like to see. I've actually seen Rich cook quite a few, different things with this, and I think for myself, I'd definitely go for a spaghetti bolognese with the ingredients that we've got there. I think you get a really good one out of that.
Excellent. Yeah, and we had a really good experience with some local school children in Gloucestershire, didn't we? Where they had a go cooking this, a special match day sort of cooking.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, so making match day food. A school were lucky enough to come in, learn about us as a football club, as these, the children get to do here at the moment, and actually have a lesson from Rich about how to make some of our match day food, which is really nice.
Awesome. So I think we're almost coming towards the end. And there's one thing we should wrap up, Chris, isn't there? There's one thing that everyone should have been looking out for during each of the people we visited.
Yes, it was our special guest, if you remember, right at the start. So what we're going to do now, we're going to have a little look about how many people think they've spotted Neville enough times. Should we get a few hands up if they think they've got the right answer?
Yeah, or in the chat. So what was that, Chris? How many?
Well, we've got 7 spots of Neville out there. So do we reckon that everybody got that?
Your hand up if you think you got all 7. Did you spot those? There's quite a few hands.
Yeah, everyone reckons they got him.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got 7s. We got 7s. Amazing.
Lots of spots there. So well done, everyone.
Awesome. Oh, sorry to interrupt, Paul. I actually think we're getting a call from Dale, who is our owner. Do you think we could get that up now to see what Dale has to say?
Hi, kids. I just want to say thanks for taking part in the Green Football Weekend event. I think you're just about to now go out and try and score some goals, some green goals for your favourite football club. I hope that's Forest Green Rovers, but it doesn't matter if it isn't. I just want to say good luck again and thanks for taking part.
So that is a special message from Dale Vince, like I said, who is the chairman and owner of Forest Green Rovers. So, like I said, it's now your turn. So if you want to, after the lesson, when you get home, head to the Green Football Weekend and pledge to make some changes. Like Dale said, for your favourite football team. It'd be amazing if it was Forest Green Rovers and we could see ourselves rise to the top of that league for the Green Football Cup.
Yeah, we've heard some great suggestions throughout this lesson of things that you could all do. It might be things you do yourself personally. It might be things that you could do at school. It could be at home. It might be that you choose to eat a plant-based meal. That could be today. It could be tomorrow. It could be at the weekend. It could be that you walk or cycle to school. So there's lots and lots of things that you could do to score green goals. We also then just want to take a moment to say thank you so much to Nick.
Hello, everybody. I'm on a green screen with lots of computers, so if there were any hiccups, please bear with me. And thanks, everybody. It's been fantastic. I'm from Steamco. I'm just a dad doing what I can. Thank you.
Cheers, Nick. Thank you so much for everything you've done. Thank you so much, Chris, as well, and for everyone at Forest Green Rovers who was, allowed us to come and visit. That's something quite special. You all are definitely welcome to come and visit Forest Green Rovers. What's the next match, Chris?
So the next match, we have a game on the 10th of February. So we'd love to get as many people there as possible. But if that's not feasible, we could reach out to your schools to see if we can get you guys to another game in the future down here at the new lawn.
So thank you so much again. We're going to jump into our final goodbye.
Wow, thank you so much. We've come to the end of the live lesson today. Thank you for joining us. And also thank you to all of our wonderful guests.
Now it's your turn. Sign up to the Green Football Weekend. Pledge to score those green goals. Let's win the league for Forest Green Rovers. Hey.
Green Football Weekend.
Time to kick off.
To help protect the planet.
Whether it's jumpers for goalposts,
on the way to Wembley, or watching from your sofa.
Even the smallest change
can make a difference.
So why not give the veggie option a go?
And perform like the playing elite.
Spice up half-time with chili bean tacos.
Try veggie-loaded strips.
You might end up with Bakayo's hips.
We are 3.5 billion fans.
We know what good we can do.
Score big for the game and our planet.
So this Green Football Weekend, try a tasty veggie option.
Yes, it is indeed Green Football Weekend, which is all about using the power of football to tackle climate change.
We saw it with the frozen pitches last weekend, but we've seen it previously how it can affect the WSL.